That beat's crazy though. Ain't it hard? But I know you gonna freestyle to that joint, man.
You was crying freestyling.
It's live now.
Oh. Check.
We get out the screen. There we go.
Check.
Most
High in Christ. Hey, Quadon, can you do me a favor, Baba Kusha, and drop this?
The camera a little bit?
Yeah, bring the camera down some, and then just adjust it so it's push this the monitor.
You know what the monitor in the screen?
No, All right. And just down, like drop it down some. Low.
All right, there you go. That's perfect.
Perfect. That's perfect, brother. The water.
It's just catching barely a teeny tad.
Yeah, and then it's turn it my way.
There
Most High in Christ. The water, brother. Yeah, we got our own production company. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's clap it up. Shalom. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shabrakatah. To the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Alatah. B'Hashem Yahweh Shah. To the sisters, Salakia. Hit that door. Yeah, it's all good. No sweat. Salakia. Shalom. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shabrakatah. To the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Alatah. B'Hashem Yahweh Shah. To my sisters, priests and officers of 1,000 Bon Kayal, coming out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And this is the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, coming out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. And tonight is our Tuesday night Brotherhood class, man. And what you have to understand about Brotherhood is that Brotherhood is the central tenet to which Christ Church was built upon, all right? This is what the kingdom of heaven is going to be reflective of, is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians coming together in the spirit of brotherhood, in the spirit of loving one another, in the spirit of having empathy and compassion for one another, literally loving each other. You know, that's the spirit of brotherhood. That's what charity is, all right? It's really, really important that we understand this, because when you look at our nation, you have to understand it's devoid of brotherhood. It's devoid of sisterhood, meaning without. You know, you don't normally see brothers and sisters coming together in the spirit of the Lord, looking out for each other's best interests. You know, what I do see, or what we normally witness, is gross selfishness, a lot of self-centered, self-absorbed, self-service, point blank, period. And a major reason why we witness that is because we're joined to America, right? Because we envy our oppressor, because we choose all the ways of the oppressor. You know, if you underneath the sound of my voice, you tuning into this class, ask your questions. If you got a question, with respect to the topic of brotherhood, ask your question in the chat. If you're sitting in the class, you got a question, don't feel ashamed. We're here to learn. This is what this is. This is the school. And in school, you learn. This ain't the church. You're not getting the song and the dance in here. You're not going to get robbed of your tithes and offering in here. They will be good. They will be put to good use. They will be given back to the people. Commander General YAHANNA is a righteous, faithful steward when it comes down to all of the services that are rendered to the people. He is literally a steward. When it comes down to protecting God's chosen nation, he's the only one teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that there's value in being Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. You're not going to get this anywhere else. All right. So if you can, brother, let's pull that Isaiah 58:1, Baba Kusha.
Check. Kamakan is the book of Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud.
Right.
Spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, listen up. This is a good camp scripture here. Right. They oftentimes wonder why we are, yelling or hollering, and we're not whispering to you, giving you smooth words like the pastor, in the church. We want you to wake up, It says to cry aloud. If you see someone that you love that's in danger, you're not going to whisper to them. Right. You're not going to speak in a low tone. Right. What emanates out of your from your voice is going to be a cry of alarm. Okay, and that's what we do in the I.S.U.P.K. All right, we are crying aloud for the sake of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, for our survival. All right. It says cry loud and do what?
Spare not.
Meaning we don't give a damn what you think or how you feel.
Right.
We're going to talk about cognitive dissonance tonight, you know, and some of the, I think it's 7 different steps or 7 different stages of cognitive dissonance, you know. And matter of fact, let's do that. Let's go into cognitive dissonance right now. Baba Kusha, you know, because this goes hand in hand with, you know, the topic of, you know, drug abuse or substance abuse or just dealing with substances, dealing with, you know, recognizing, coming to the realization that you have an addiction, you know, like cigarette smoking. It is an addictive thing. You know, nicotine is a highly addictive substance. Just like people say you can't get addicted to weed. And that's a lie. Because every weed head that I know, they have to have a blunt before they eat, a blunt before they go to sleep,
Right.
a blunt first thing in the morning when they wake up,
Right.
you know, a blunt when their nerves is bad, when they get agitated, when they get angry, a blunt just so they can maintain a certain level of euphoria and happiness.
Right.
You know, a blunt before they go listen to music, you know. I know, Salaki, when Brothers was in the world, just so you can have some sort of a sensory experience, you get high and you go into Whole Foods. You walk into the different sections of Whole Foods and you smell the French milled handmade soaps, you know, or you go through the seafood section or go through the bakery, you know, just so you could, like I said, get a sensory stimulating experience, you know, because you want to feel something, you know. But what happens is you actually are desensitized to how you are supposed to think, how you're supposed to feel, how you're supposed to move out here in these streets. You're supposed to be sober. All right. Give me that cognitive dissonance, if you can, Baba Kusha.
Come. This is cognitive dissonance. This is from Britannica online. The mental conflict that occurs when beliefs or assumptions are contradicted by new information. The unease.
Right. Say that one more time, Baba Kusha. Salaki.
The mental conflict that occurs when beliefs or assumptions are contradicted by new information.
Oh, man. All of my relatives got hit with this and experienced what cognitive dissonance was when they sent out that Merry Christmas text or the Happy New Year's text. And this is what, 7 years removed from embracing the customs of our oppressor. Right. These vain, senseless traditions that, you know, we've practiced since coming up off of the auction block, man. You know, my relatives, we spare not. And that's love there. When you talk about, you know, spoiling someone, you're destroying them if you don't extend love, which is correction. If you don't let them know, if you really care about them, look, man, we don't celebrate Christmas. Christmas is the worship of other gods. It's an amalgamation of polytheism, you know, or paganism. You know, we don't celebrate New Year's.
Right.
And that's another custom and tradition of worshiping another god or other gods, other deities. You know, we are supposed to subject ourselves to the authority of thus saith the Lord, and not thus saith how you feel or what you think or what Big Mama said or what Pastor Joe Willie said. You know, oh, shalom, brothers, shalom. Good to see y'all, brothers. It's a car in the house, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to cognitive dissonance, read that again, Baba Kusha.
Cognitive dissonance, the mental conflict that occurs when beliefs or assumptions are contradicted by new information.
Yeah, when we tell you that you worship another gods, when you looking up at that ball dropping in the sky, you know, you get upset, you get agitated, you reject it because first of all, it's coming from a nigga with braids and gold teeth and a beard, and you're not expecting that brother to have the spirit of the Lord on him because you're so used to clean shaven, greasy pastors, you know, that are wearing periwinkle, you know, things that are soft on the eyes, and it's easy to receive a brother that's wearing a 3-piece suit over a brother that has on fatigues. Go ahead, brother.
So like you used to saying a brother that's joined himself to America.
Right.
That's interesting that you said that because That's a heavy point. Today I had a conversation with some brothers, and they were talking about the preachers, pushing politics on the people. And, I couldn't help but to think about Raphael Warnock, and how he's both. He's a preacher that became a politician, He is at one with America. He's not at one with the Most High Power.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you think he's trying to, he would do what is in the best interest of so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, or anyone? He's going to do what is in the best interest of America. He's going to do what is in the best interest of his own self. He don't care about your well-being, your overall well-being. He's a preacher that advocates for abortion.
Right.
He believes that women have the right to choose whether or not they want to keep that baby or not, or to murder that baby in cold blood. Right. So yeah, we spare not in here, according to Isaiah in the I.S.U.P.K. We don't care about your feelings. Go ahead, brother. Salakia.
Not Salakia to you, sir. And it's so heavy what you said, like, especially like when you like Salakia, if I may, they say confession is good for the soul.
That's
if
right.
I may. I seen my uncle the other day, and I hadn't seen him in a minute out of one.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing he say, man, yo, what's going on? I ain't seen you in a minute.
Right.
What just passed. He's like, hey, how was your Christmas?
Right.
And I looked at him. I said, I don't celebrate Christmas no more.
Right.
He looked at me. He was so baffled out of one. You know what I mean? It's like, he like, what in the world? He looked at me like I was a unicorn or something. Like I had a horn on my head.
Right.
And he just started stuttering. Well, how's everything else going? It's like our people don't know nothing else to talk about but these wicked or these pagan holidays like Zion whatever yesterday.
Right.
And again, like you said, I like with it so heavy with the scriptures, I didn't give a damn about his feelings. I know what I do and who I serve.
That's
so
right.
I made sure to let him know I didn't celebrate that wicked holiday.
Right.
That's right. No, you're absolutely right. And there's value in daring to be different. Right. But you're not being different in the spirit of what Quadam wants. You're not doing, what some pastor or some preacher has influenced you to do. What you're doing is what the Lord says to do. Right. You can validate your reasoning for not celebrating, any of the oppressor's holidays. Right. You can validate that. But ask your relatives, ask your uncle, can he prove that this is appropriate and acceptable in the sight of the Lord to do this thing? And that's where you're going to get this cognitive dissonance, because they don't have a concrete premise to stand on with respect to their argument. They don't. Right. I can validate, my position with precepts. That's the way you're supposed to read the Bible, right? Here a little, there a little, right? Precept upon precept. But your pastor, he's going to cherry pick. He's going to take the scriptures and bend them and twist them up, and they're going to remove things and add a little bit here and take away a little bit there to fit, they're going to take creative liberty with, what the Lord said, which is absolute sacrilege and it's blasphemous. If you go into a Christian church, you are committing the act of blasphemy, and it's an abominable thing to do that, being God's chosen people, because that pastor is not giving you what is denoted, what is actually written on the record. He's not giving you this. He's giving you a philosophy that is hell-bent on keeping you on the bottom. And that philosophy is white supremacy. That's what Christianity is. That's what Islam is, But let's finish that verse off real quick, because we're in the middle of that. Salakia.
Come on, sir. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Like a what?
Like a trumpet.
Like a trumpet, not a kazoo. Like a trumpet, not like a flute, not like a clarinet, but a trumpet. There's a very that's a different sound. It's an alarming sound. That trumpet in ancient times, that's what we use to alert the people. That's how you're supposed to alert so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, with your voice, by crying aloud. And that's what we do on those street corners, week in and week out. Some brothers go to camp on Friday and on the Sabbath, man. Keep reading.
Come. and show my people their transgression.
Oh, I love that. Possessive pronoun of my. The Most High Power has always only been talking about so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Sure.
That is the my. Not talking about the Chinese man. He's not talking about the East Indian. He's not talking about the Arab. He's not talking about the filthy African. He's not talking about the so-called white man or the Edomite. He's talking about you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child. Because we are one holy, separate, set apart, royal family. And there's value there, all right? Show my people their what?
Their transgression.
What is a transgression? What is a transgression? Go ahead, brother.
So like you say, the breaking of the law, sir.
Right. So the Lord's people, they were given something special. They were given a culture, the customs, the traditions of the Most High Power. They weren't given, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Andrew Jackson, what the dude said, James Madison. They weren't given those traditions. We were given traditions of the Lord to keep, the customs of the Lord to keep, the commandments. We were ordered to keep the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments. Right. But look at us now. What are we keeping? Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's. Right. Getting ready to celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday.
Right.
Then go right into another pagan observance of Valentine's Day. None of this stuff makes any sense, and it doesn't correlate to what the Bible says. That we should observe, things that we should keep. All right, keep reading on that.
And the house of Jacob, their sin.
The house of Jacob. Well, who lives in a house? A family, right? The family of Jacob. We know who Jacob was. You had Abraham, then you had Isaac, and then you had who? Jacob. And Jacob he was the progenitor of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, man. He's our forefather. All right. That's a very heavy thing, to know what our actual lineage is, because the world wants you to believe that you're African. The world wants you to strive to be the best American that you can be. And that goes against the spirit of brotherhood. All right. When you strive to be an African or an African American, you hate other blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You separate yourself from the spirit of brotherhood, striving to be any of those things, because all of those things are caustic to the fabric of brotherhood that the Lord intended for us to have, the love and the charity and the long suffering that the Lord intended for blacks, Hispanics to have, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to have for one another. All right. Drop that. Let's go. You can change that cognitive dissonance. I just want to kind of touch on that briefly. Let's go to Romans 12:1. Romans 12:1. Let's go there. I have a bad habit of doing that.
God, it's the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren,
right,
by the mercies of the Most High.
Right, meaning to beseech means to do what?
So like it's sir to beg of
Who's
me.
speaking here?
So like it's sir Paul is, sir.
That's right. Whenever you read these scriptures, you want to ask yourself who, what, when, where, why, right? Those are some simple things that you want to address whenever you're looking at scripture. It'll give you the full context so you can actually understand what it is that you're reading. All right. So you say Paul is speaking in the book of Romans, which is in the New Testament, right?
Right.
And he's saying he's begging who is the brethren? This is the brotherhood class, right? Who are the brethren?
So like I said, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right over there on that chart.
Right.
If you're from the tribe of Judah, you are so-called Negro.
That's right.
Benjamin is the West Indians, right? You got Levi, the so-called Haitians, and then who is that? Simeon, the so-called Dominicans, man, the Dominicana, right? And so on and so forth. Figure out who you are. You don't have to go to 23andMe or to Ancestry.com to figure out who you actually are. The general brought that out the other day. You know, brother sitting in the DNA from his dog. I saw a video of this dude sending the DNA of a chameleon into 23andMe.
Right.
You know, and they said that the chameleon was from Africa. You know what I'm saying? So I guess he's a Negro. You know, it's like ridiculous. You can't even differentiate between animal DNA or human DNA. You know, but in science, they deem that human beings are just a different form of animals. You know, which is ridiculous. You know, keep reading that verse, Salakia.
Come. That you present yourselves, Salakia, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice.
It says, by the mercies of who?
By the mercies of the Most High.
And the Most High Power has been merciful with so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know, since Abram, the Most High Power has been merciful with us since Salakia, since Jacob. I'll say that. You know, I stand corrected because you know Abraham had many seed. You know what I'm saying? Ishmael is a descendant of Abraham. You know, the so-called Arab, those Persians. You know, they feel as if they are validated because of the seed of Abraham. But you got to know that covenant went to who? It didn't go to Ishmael. It went to Isaac. You know, and through Isaac, that's where we get Jacob. All right. So by the mercies of the Most High Power, the Lord has been merciful. I wouldn't be able to sit here in this seat without the mercy of the Most High Power. According to his law, statutes, and commandments, I should have been dead a long damn time ago. Well, the old man that I was, you know, when I came into the truth and understanding of, when I came into the understanding of the truth and what is expected of me, thus saith the Lord, you know, thankfully the Most High Power had mercy on me. Right. You know, so it says, keep reading.
Come, sir. By the mercies of the Most High.
No, it says that ye Salakia. I'm slow balling you, Salakia. It says that ye what?
That ye present your bodies in a living sacrifice.
How the hell do you do that? How do you present your body a living sacrifice when Jesus paid it all? According to what the church says. Right. If Jesus paid it all, how are so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians supposed to present their bodies a living sacrifice? Right. How do you do that in America where nothing is withheld? Nothing is withheld from you. They're decriminalizing cannabis. You can smoke weed now. I remember we went to New York and I promise you, it was ridiculous. You know, you walking down the street, you smell the reefer. You smell like, you know, skunks on every block. Somebody hit a damn skunk on every block. You get behind every car, that's all you smell coming through your vents is weed smoke. Right. How the hell are you going to present yourself as a living sacrifice when you could smoke weed? Y'all smoke weed? Y'all never smoke weed in here? You know what? You know how it feels when you smoke weed? No? Good. You don't need to know that. Right. You know, but for those of us that have had the experience of smoking weed, it is I guess it would be a tremendous experience. You know, Officer Ayathon, you know about smoking weed, right? No? What have you heard about smoking weed? What are some of the effects of weed on the so-called black, or just your psyche, on your body? What are the effects of smoking weed? How's it? Shalom, sir.
So like it, I would say, I know as a male, from what I've seen, like when you see a male smoke weed, it makes him more effeminate. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like we done all seen the movies where they passing blunts back and forth and they sitting there looking each other in the eyes, smiling for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like you smiling after you just sucked on something, you about to give it to the next man.
Hey, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, yo. Like,
right.
You said, looking this man in his eyes, smiling, like, and like it's a very uncomfortable. It should be a very uncomfortable feeling.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. But what I know about weed is that, you know, when you smoke weed, it's supposed to make everything better. You know, it's supposed to make music sound better. It's supposed to make sex feel better. It's supposed to make food taste better. You know, and we ain't gonna get into the science of it. the releasing of endorphins. You know, we're not going to talk about all of that because it has a lot to do with science.
Right.
The release of certain chemicals, the release of certain endorphins in your body, you know, by you coming in contact with this THC. But it's evil and it's wicked and it's vile for you to subject yourself to something as base as smoking weed. It's smoking, period. Because you do more than just smoke weed. Niggas don't smoke poison ivy. They don't smoke poison oak. They're not smoking that what is the name of that oh man, that kudzu. You ain't smoking that.
Right.
You're gonna smoke something that's gonna make you feel something. All right. Keep reading that verse.
Con, sir.
Present your body as a living what?
Sacrifice.
That's right. Just because everybody's smoking weed don't mean that you have to do it.
Right.
You know, opt out. When I was growing up, they had the DARE program, the Drug Abuse Resistance Education Program, where they brought McGruff in and they talked about daring to be different. That's what you have to be today. In 2023 is what they call it, right? Present yourselves a living sacrifice. You know, sacrifice not smoking weed, not being a drug addict, sacrifice not being a whore or whoremonger. Make that sacrifice for the Most High Power to not celebrate your birthday, to not celebrate New Year's and Christmas, to not want to acknowledge Martin Luther King as being, you know, the greatest thing next to the Most High Power. Keep reading.
Holy.
Holy. What does that word holy mean? Because the church makes holy seem like it's something that you can't attain. Go ahead, brother. Say that again. Young man, give that brother a hand. That's right. We're supposed to be separate. So if everybody and their mama is smoking weed, you are supposed to be separate. You're supposed to remove yourself from that. Separate yourself from the damn cipher, man. Set yourself apart from the cipher. Sever yourself from those of us that want you to smoke weed. Remove yourself, all right? It says holy. That's how we're supposed to be for the Most High, right? Keep reading.
Acceptable unto the Most High.
Yeah, when you separate yourself, now you are acceptable by the Most High Power. Now the Lord can accept you. He can work with you, not being a damn drug addict. He can work with you not being a whore. He can work with you not being a selfish, self-absorbed bastard that won't make that won't, you know, make the sacrifice, you know, that won't present himself as a living sacrifice. Now you are acceptable in the sight of the Lord. Keep reading.
Which is your reasonable service.
Yes, that everything else is unreasonable. It's unreasonable for you to be walking around here high out of your damn mind, coming in contact with other brothers and sisters, influencing them to be wicked and evil and vile and unacceptable to the Most High Power. Right. This is why it's so important for you, if you're a priest and prophet in this school, to hold true to your office, to not be weak, to do that hard thing and be that living sacrifice. When everybody else around you is being weak, that's the reasonable service for you to be strong. It's reasonable. It's not a grievous thing to do that. Is that it on that? No, keep reading. Salakia.
Verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
Be not what?
Conform to this world.
How are we conforming to this world? Because, you know, the Lord talked about being in the world, but not of the world, right? So how are we conforming to the ways of the world? Curbing our ways, you know, to be accepted, shaving off your beard, not getting braids for the sake of that job, shaving your beard because your rib like you in a goatee. She don't like you with all that facial hair. It make you look old. It make you look unkept. She wants you to what? You being conformed to the world when you join the fake Israelite group, them purple faggots. Right. Now you're conforming to the world. You're coveting after the riches of rich men. You know. Go ahead, brother.
So like if I got the definition of conform.
Most High in Christ. That's what I was waiting on.
It says to act in accordance with prevailing standards or customs.
What's the prevailing standard or custom in America? Happy New Year.
There you go.
Happy New Year, right?
Right.
I just don't say nothing. I'm to the point now where I'm disgusted if you tell me Happy New Year.
Right.
You might as well said F you to me if you say Happy New Year.
Right.
I'm still working on being a professional. You could just say thank you, right? That's what Jim Muhammad said, right?
Mhm.
He's a better man than I am. Because I could give a damn about your Happy New Year or your Merry Christmas. And they look at you like you're crazy when you don't say nothing.
Right.
You know, I think I got a devil up my slave who's getting wise. He's getting hit to me. He's like, I said Happy New Year to him. I didn't say it to you. Like, oh, okay. Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. As long as you know, devil.
Right.
Keep reading.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Yeah, we have to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And this is new. It's really not new. This is a very ancient thing for us to be compliant with thus saith the Lord. Salakia, sir, go ahead.
Hey, Salakia, what you said earlier, what you just said about the oppressor that's there with you on the slave,
Right.
that's heavy as hell. It's like, what'd you say? I said Happy New Year's to you. I mean, to him, not you.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like he's accepted whatever that this devil is offering to him.
Right.
You're not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what this empire is about. Like they hand their hands out to see if we're gonna eat out of their hands.
Right.
And you have our people that gonna eat out of their hands, and the one that will say, you know what, la.
Right.
And it just goes to show how much you will lose self-respect when you begin to eat out of somebody's hand, especially the oppressor. You understand?
That's right.
And for him to acknowledge that even in spirit in his words, I said Happy New Year's to him is almost like he's getting something that you're not getting.
Right.
But the truth is, when we know the truth about it, everything, the Salaki, the thing that you're giving him,
right,
we don't want it anyway. You understand?
Right. Most correct. No, damn right. Get that brother a hand. Get an Ottawa hand, Salaki. So close, I'd be like, brother, you know what I'm saying? But this is the Ottawa, so Salakia. But yeah, that's heavy. That's an absolute heavy point. All right. Where we at? How do we renew our mind? Ain't nobody telling blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that they ain't anything but a child of God outside of the I.S.U.P.K. This is something new. You coming in here learning that, oh, we worshiping other gods if you celebrate New Year's, or you worshiping yourself, you make yourself a god if you celebrate your birthday. The church ain't teaching that. The church is doing what everybody else is doing. You know? Yeah, go ahead.
Like if I may.
Get down.
It's the definition of transform. It says to change in character or condition.
Right. You change when you put down the pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Right. You change when you stop going to the cipher. You stop smoking them damn cigarettes. Right. You're not going to allure to smoke hookah. That's renewing of the what?
Of your mind.
Renewing of your mind.
Right.
You know, because what you do, it's about your thoughts. As a man thinketh is what they say. Right. So, you know, your thoughts will be followed by actions. Just like if you're looking at that whore over there in the corner, next thing you know, you're going to be over there talking to her. Next thing you know, you're going to be jumping up and down on her. You know, don't do that. Don't do that thing. Renew your mind. That's right. All right. Salakia. I don't know where that came from. Keep going, brother.
That ye may prove what is that good.
Prove what is what?
That good.
Prove what is that good. Being obedient to the Most High Power is good. Right. That's beneficial. There's value in proving what is good, right, and being different and renewing your mind and not doing what people would automatically expect for you to do. People are not expecting you. I'm talking about your immediate family, for you to correct them. Right. When they send you a Happy New Year's text, they're not expecting for you to, you know, politely just tell them, look, that's the worship of another God. I love you, so I'm going to tell you the truth, right? This is going to hurt me more than it hurts you. Oh, isn't that what your parents used to say when they had that strap out? Ready to tie fire to your behind? This is going to hurt me way more than it hurts you. Well, as a priest and prophet, I'm learning that there's real pain in loving our people. There's real pain in telling mama, no, I can't come down there. I'm not coming to the Thanksgiving dinner. and you look at it as pain, like you're losing out, like you're missing out. The pain is just seeing the pain on them. You're not hurting at all, but you don't want to hurt your mother's feelings. You don't want to hurt your relatives' feelings. They have to endure that cognitive dissonance. They got to go through that. That's what's going to make them stronger. All right. And they're going to respect you because of it. They're going to respect you because you told them the truth. All right. Keep reading.
Come. That ye may prove what that is good.
Right.
And acceptable.
Right.
And perfect will of the Most High.
That's right, man. We're going to prove what is acceptable and perfect. I thought you couldn't be perfect. I thought there was no perfect people. Right. You can attain perfection. All right. And in the I.S.U.P.K. under command of General YAHANNA, we are striving to be perfect in here. All right. You're not going to get this at the Ebenezer Baptist Church. They're not striving to be perfect in there. They're not striving to be perfect at Manna Church or in Simon Temple or the Abney Chapel. They're not striving to be perfect. All right. Keep reading.
Verse 3. For I say, through the grace given unto me.
We know what grace is, right? What's grace? What's grace?
Salagi, sir, if I may, a time.
God is great. God is good. And we thank him for our food. By his hands we all are fed. Is that grace? What's grace?
Grace is like a time period given to get something right or to pay a debt.
I've had a lot of grace. They say it's a short time period, you know, but I've had tremendous grace. All right. But usually it's a short time period, right? For you to get yourself together. All right. Keep reading.
To every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think.
Man, that's a heavy point right there. Who don't think that they're the sugar honey iced tea? Who don't think that of themselves? We need to exercise some humility in Israel. We recognize that all glory, all honor should go to the Most High in Christ. It's the reason why we say Most High in Christ. It got nothing to do with me. I'm merely a vessel. You say my righteousness says as what? Filthy rags, man. Keep reading.
Not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think.
That's right.
But
let's be reasonable here. Let's be rational. All right. Get your head out of the clouds. Get your head from out of your behind. All right. Keep reading.
But to think soberly.
That's how we're supposed to be thinking. That's the mind we should have. Being blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, living behind enemy lines. We live in absolute war zones. Situational awareness should be on the forefront of your thinking. Every step that you take, every step that we take. But it's not, because we're not striving to be sober-minded. You know, and this is the reason why we get destroyed. This is the reason why we become victims in this place, in this hell of an existence, because we're not sober-minded. It's really, really imperative that you are sober-minded. There should be never an opportunity for you to give an opportunity or give, what is it, a spirit to your flesh? How you say it?
Occasion. Yeah,
an occasion to your flesh. Not if you're an officer in the U.P.K. Oh no, you wear a cover. No, you got to be on point, brother, because you know that life is war. You know that in here. We have to be sober, thinking soberly. All right, keep reading.
To think soberly, according as God the Most High have dealt to every man the measure of faith.
That's right. Every man's faith is a little different. You know, some brothers are stronger than others. All right. And just because you are stronger than the next man, you know, don't jump to conclusions. That's why we always talk about not, you know, giving your brother the benefit of the doubt, literally. Right. And I can be quite cynical. Now get that strong pause. And that is an opportunity for me to not think so highly of myself and recognize that the Lord has been beyond merciful with his grace. He's been generous with the grace that he's bestowed upon my life. You know, and you should be the same way when it comes down to your brothers and sisters.
Right.
All right. Drop that. Let's go to Proverbs 3 and 7. What we got queued up on the videos? What you got? What you got? It's the Brotherhood class, man. We in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. We talking about brotherhood. You know, there's a lot that's going on in the earth today, and I felt like we needed to speak about this whole drug culture. You know, when the hell did Israel? When did it become cool for niggas to be drug addicts? When did it become cool? Yeah, let's go into that. You know, that really touched me because I was a big 3-6 Mafia fan when I was in the world. You know, it was just something about DJ Paul, Juicy J, you know, Gangsta Boo, Lord Infamous, Crunchy Black, you know. But one of our sisters, you know, she lost her life. She lost her life to this drug culture, this drug subculture that's embraced in America. Ain't nobody telling the rappers to not rap about drugs. You know, the brother talked about our entertainment being weaponized against us. This is why brothers have pictures. Every nigga I know has a picture of that movie Scarface. You got Al Pacino on your wall somewhere at one point in time. And your favorite rapper is the most vile, disgusting bastard, spewing all sorts of obscenities. Everybody love Jigga. Everybody love Jay-Z. They call him the GOAT. But what he rap about? What Jigga rap about? What B.I.G. what he rap about? He had the damn 10 crack commandments, which is so blasphemous. Your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. That's all he talk about. That's all they talk about. Why is that? Who's paying them to talk about these things? Right. Let's get to the root of the issue, the root of the problem. All right. Where we at? What you got? Gangsta Boo, right? Gangsta Boo dead at what age?
43.
43 years old. 43 years young. Beautiful sister. Dead. Because of what? Because she wanted to chase that feeling. She's supposed to have money. You're supposed to have money, you know. That's supposed to be what? Solve all your problems, right? Mm-hmm. The richest of our people. Michael Jackson had plenty of money. How did he die? A drug damn addict. Whitney Houston had plenty of money. How did she die? A goddamn drug addict.
Right.
Gangsta Boo. I thought it was a new year. It's supposed to be a happy new year, right? But this is our reality. We're in mourning. The Bible says Judah mourneth. Right. We're in a constant state of mourning. Read the article, Salakia.
It says, it's remembering Gangsta Boo. Gangsta Boo, 3-6 Mafia, dead at 43 years old, possible OD. It says sources connected to Gangsta Boo tell TMZ the rapper's death appears to be drug related. We're told that Gangsta was with her brother last night at a local concert in Memphis, and that her siblings started to overdose sometime in the night, requiring hospitalization. Right. While he ended up being okay, our sources tell us people familiar with Gangsta Boo's death scene insist narcotics were found on her person, and that fentanyl-laced substance is believed to be at play. We're told the police are launching an official investigation.
Yeah, of course. They're going to launch an official investigation, you know, about something that they already know. I don't understand in today's age why you would feel comfortable ever, you know, taking something from a complete stranger. As far as a drug is concerned, we all got that one cousin that got that bad bag of weed. They sprayed Raid on it or whatever. Now he not in his right. He never been in his right state of mind since he smoked that blunt. Everybody has that cousin or that uncle or that aunt.
Psychosis.
Yeah, dealing with the psychosis, dealing with that bipolar. Now they're schizophrenic because they got a hold of something they shouldn't have got a hold of. This sister here, Her brother was dealing with symptoms of what?
I said he OD'd earlier that night. He went to the hospital.
Good night.
And
Birds
he
of a
lived.
feather.
He lived, but she didn't.
Yeah, because he got help. He got help. No one thought about. See, that goes against the spirit of brotherhood. You responsible for your brother or your sister. That's what we learn in here. We leave here. We make sure everybody get where they need to get to. Go ahead.
And you made a comment earlier about, we all got that cousin or friend, especially
Right.
coming we from in this small town. I can count on my hands how many friends I played basketball with or went to high school with, middle school, that, you see them now. And, they're directing traffic with headphones on, connected to nothing.
Right.
And it's like they're talking to themselves, full of demons. And, a lot of them are schizophrenics, bipolar, manic depressive, psychosis set in. And it used to be a rumor saying, oh, I got a bad bag of weed. My weed was laced. Well, I've been doing a lot of reading on that. And it ain't about it being laced. It's just that you smoking marijuana, you alter the compounds of the THC. And that also can cause psychosis. And your everybody has a chemical balance in their body.
Right.
We don't see it, but science can pretty much infer, okay, this person, somebody ever told you got a chemical imbalance. Well, a Negro looking at you can't tell that. But by your actions and things you do, scientists can infer you have a chemical imbalance. Well, this THC alters it. So you have improper amounts of THC and CBD, which are compounds of weed.
Right.
You tend to smoke and your brain can't handle it. So you mess around and induce yourself into like a permanent state of being crazy. Which they call weed psychosis.
Right.
And then some of it's permanent. You really don't ever come back from that.
No, you
It's
don't.
permanent damage.
Right.
So now you have people who are clinically bipolar or schizophrenic or they're always multiple personalities, all this stuff.
Right.
And ain't about the weed being laced. You smoking weed is going to cause that. Damn it, being laced.
Right.
Your body ain't handle. Your body might not take it to how this man or this woman takes it.
Right.
And they got plenty of books and articles covering this. It's just that people who make millions of dollars off of weed, they try to deny it and say it's not addictive. That's not true. It's very true. You can't go crazy smoking weed. I know a bunch of people who have.
Damn right. Go ahead, Ottawa, Salaki.
And Salaki, if I may, could you imagine a nation of people that are so have so much pain, right? Like we enthralled with so much pain,
Right.
like to inflict bodily harm, like when we smoke, we see somebody die. We deal with so much pain and trauma. We'll say, well, damn, let's take one to the head. Not knowing that what Kawal was saying, everybody know when you first start smoking, you realize like I'm gonna let them smoke that weed. I can't smoke with that smoker. That stuff does me different. You understand? Right. We all had an experience in life, but you dealing with the people that deal with it's so much pain and so much anguish. Like we just take it in, and it becomes a daily routine for us. You understand?
Right.
And it's like escapism.
That's it.
But we'll see Gangsta Boo die. We'll see Prince die. We'll see Whitney Houston die. We'll see Michael Jackson die. And most people say, well, let's go ahead and take one to the head for Michael Jackson.
Right.
You understand? Let's go ahead and take one to the head for the Gangsta Boo.
Right.
Lord Infamous, didn't he die from the same thing?
That's right.
What was my boy from UGK? Pimp C, didn't he die from on the same thing?
That's right.
So we really listening to these rappers, right, and what they saying. How about we start looking at the effects of what they doing in their real life? Right. And we smart enough to look at what they doing and rapping and try to emulate that. Why can't we look at their deaths and see and be like, you know what? I don't want to go out like that.
Right.
But when you're dealing with, like you said, the atrocities that we face, Israel, our gates languish. You know what I'm saying? We are in mourning.
That's
like,
right.
do we see those things? And because of those things alone, oppression on top of it, or we have to self-medicate out.
Right.
I just thank the Lord that he allowed brothers to come into this school and we get medicated on this. You understand?
Right. Damn right.
Saying I want to shoot some more of this UPK in my veins. You understand?
Right.
That's what we need. That's the real fix. The fix ain't freedom. You understand? The fix is discipline.
Right.
That's what it is. That's what we're missing. The freedom to be able to go out. We think we being part of America when they loosen the marijuana laws. We become more of a slave to this place when they loosen the marijuana laws out. Heavy class, brother. Keep rocking. Salaki.
No Damn right. Get that brother a hand. Give the other one a hand. That's heavy. Because we're joined to America, within its founding documents, they say the pursuit of happiness, right? Mm-hmm. So it's your American right to pursue whatever the hell it is that makes you happy. So if you're a rapist, rape. If you're a pedophile, where the kids at, right? Mm-hmm. If you're a drug addict, we got every drug that you need. Every single drug is at your disposal here in America, which is the land of opportunity. Okay, apparently that's what they call America, the land of opportunity. And because we live in hell, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we seek palliatives. We need a little bit of relief or respite from the suffering that we endure, from the mourning, the constant, mourning that we literally embody. Who the hell wants to be a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian? Nobody. Nobody would trade places with you.
Right.
That's why we have to start valuing one another. That's the spirit of brotherhood. It's finding value in the brothers and sisters that come from the same bloodline as you, live in the same squalor as you, live in the same abject poverty as you. Find value in those people. All right. Where we at? What verse we on?
Come on, it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 7. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Most High and depart from evil.
Salakia. I wanted you to take go to verse 5.
Come. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Most High with all thine heart.
What does that word trust mean? Because we trust in America. We trust in America's military might, military prowess. We trust in America's government. We trust in America's economy. We trust in that almighty dollar. But we never have really wholeheartedly trusted in the Lord. We never have taken that chance to believe what is denoted in this record. We haven't done that thing. We've reserved our trust for things that don't matter, for vanity. We haven't reserved our trust for the Most High power. Trust in who?
Trust in the Lord with all thine. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart.
That's right, man. You should trust in the Lord with all your mind.
Right.
This is the reason why we in class every day. Right. Everybody look at you like, damn, nigga, you going to class again? What the hell y'all doing in there? They want to know. Mm-hmm. They think we having ciphers in here. Ain't no ciphers going on in here. We passing these precepts around. That's right. It ain't no Ponda Dunchi on the left-hand side in here. Right. We passing these precepts around, and we are gaining wisdom and knowledge and understanding. And we're getting stronger because of it. You can too. If you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you can come to class. We don't bite. You know what you're scared of? That's what America does to you. It makes you live in the spirit of fear. Being joined to Christianity. Christianity is not a religion of the strong will. Christianity has you living your life on your damn knees, man.
Right.
Keep reading.
Come.
Trust in the Lord with what?
All thine heart.
All of your mind should be focused on serving the Lord. That's the difference. Right. I don't give a damn how I feel. What does the Lord think about what this thing is that I'm about to do, or what I'm about to say, or how I'm about to act, or what I'm about to eat? What am I about to do? What does the Lord say about these things? See, you need to get out of your own way. That's the problem with our people. You're so caught up in how you think or what you feel. You don't give a damn what the Lord thinks. You don't care what the Lord feels. Stop being so damn selfish. Stop being so self-absorbed. Trust in the Lord with what?
With all thine heart.
We know the heart is synonymous with your mind. You know, the heart is just an organ that pumps blood throughout your body. We're talking about your mind here, all right? Set your mind on the Most High power. Keep reading.
And lean not unto thine own
And
understanding.
you think you understand certain things. Your understanding is debased by feeling. Your understanding is debased by tradition. Your understanding is debased by influence. The reason why you understand things as being this way is because Big Mama did it. My daddy told me this. Your daddy didn't give a damn about you. He didn't give you what I'm giving my son. Thus saith the Lord. Right. Every man's supposed to have what? A measuring tool or a standard. You know, what is the definition of your moral compass? What's your paradigm? Because mine is this Holy Bible, man. Keep reading.
Verse 6. In all thy ways, in all thy ways,
just a few.
In all thy ways,
Are the ones that you are willing to sacrifice.
In all thy ways,
in all of thy ways, every damn way, every way. You're supposed to do what?
Acknowledge him.
Acknowledge who is him? Who is the him?
So like I said, the him is the Most High.
In all of thy ways, acknowledge the Most High power. Give me the definition of acknowledge. I know I'm taking my damn time tonight, but I don't care. Keep reading. Yeah, give me acknowledge. You know, our people, you know, we still struggle with understanding this bastardized tongue of English. We talk about acknowledging. You know what it feels like to not be acknowledged. Somebody come in your house and they just walk in your house and go in your refrigerator or go grab your remote. Right. Ain't nobody acknowledging you. They're just doing what the hell they want to do. The Lord created the heavens and the earth. Right. Created the earth for our sakes, right? Okay. We doing whatever the hell we want to do on this earth. We have failed to acknowledge the Lord. Read, acknowledge, Salakia.
It's the Merriam-Webster dictionary of acknowledge. It says, or definition of Salakia, to recognize the rights, authority, or status of.
Whoa. Nice. See, this is the value of that damn smartphone you got in your pocket. Right. Now, it adds a different layer of understanding of this verse. Because acknowledgement is just like, oh, you know, you see me, I see you, right? You speak to me, I speak to you. We've acknowledged one another, right? Read the definition one more time.
To recognize the rights, authority, or status of.
You ain't the damn authority. Big Mama's not the damn authority. Right. Pastor Joe Willie is not the goddamn authority. Right. The Most High Power, Yahweh, is the authority. That's right. That's where I'm putting all of my trust in. I'm not putting my trust in what people say. I don't care of the relationship. It can be your mama, your grandmama, who's dead and gone. And you still holding on to what your great grandmother told you. Right. Trust in the Lord with what?
All thine heart.
And lean not into what?
Thine own understanding.
And in all thy ways do what?
Acknowledge him.
That's right. And when you do those things, what happens? It's not magic. We got the playbook. Run the play. Right. Run the damn play. Get out of your way. In all thy ways do what?
Acknowledge him. And he shall direct thy paths.
See, this is the reason why, you know, what we do looks strange to you. What we do looks strange to people that are in the world. Because we're getting direction from our authority. We're getting direction from the Most High Power. We're not getting direction from Joel Oilsheen. Right. We're not getting direction from TD Fakes and Theodollars, man. Right. We're getting direction from on high. This is the difference. This is the separation here. Keep reading.
Verse 7. Be not wise in thine own eyes.
We gotta stop thinking that we know something.
Right.
You think you know something because you got this earnest feeling, you know? You think that your feelings define truth. I hate it when people say, oh, that's your truth. No, the hell it's not. This is the most highest truth.
Right. That's right.
There ain't no damn separate truth.
Right.
Truth is absolute.
That's right.
I can validate why I don't do certain things and why I do certain things. But can you? Can you validate why you want to worship other gods? Validate that in conjunction with what you claim you believe in.
Right.
Because I know you're a goddamn liar. I know you're a liar. According to what the Lord said, Salakia.
Remember that time, it was a couple years back, one of the sisters online, we knew she was like we were talking about Christmas, and I can't believe I'm still tripping baffled about what she said. She said, I know what y'all are saying, but me and my family, we spoke to God, we got confirmation that Christmas is okay.
What God?
I just want to know how that happened. Like,
I was disgusted.
which one of y'all niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like, who'd y'all talk to? What happened? Like, what do you mean? Like, they all conferred with God and he said it was okay. Like, who said that? Like, who?
Man,
like, that's crazy. It's like a mental disorder.
it is a mental disorder.
It's ridiculous.
It's insanity. You spoke to God and God responded to you? Who the hell are you?
Right.
The Lord ain't dealing with you. You selfish. You got a Christmas tree and you dressed up in damn matching pajamas with your mama, your daddy, your baby dad, your second baby daddy.
Right.
Come on, man. Lord ain't dealing with you. I'll tell you who he is dealing with, though. Commander General YAHANNA.
That's right.
He damn sure is dealing with Commander General YAHANNA. It's ridiculous. I hate that. They tell you that you live in your truth. No, I'm doing thus saith the Lord. And I can expound upon why I'm doing what I'm doing. What say you? What say you? You can't. You can't do the same. You can't invalidate the truth with your truth. You lack concrete premises with respect to your arguments. Whatever it is, hang your hat on Christianity. You'll be a slave forever. All right. Is that it on that? Be not wise in thine own eyes.
And so I can fear the Most High and depart from evil.
That's right, man. We got to fear the Lord. We got to start having some shame about wanting to be a whore or a whoremonger. We got to have some shame about wanting to be selfish and being self-absorbed and not wanting to make the sacrifice of loving our brother and sister. It'll make you a better person. It actually feels good. There's fulfillment in serving other people. It really is. Good night. And depart from what?
Depart from evil.
Yeah, depart from that drug addiction.
Depart from evil.
Depart from this drug culture of America.
Depart from evil.
Depart from the microcosm of wanting to be a drug addict, man.
Depart from evil.
Depart from evil. That is very evil and wicked for you to put your trust, all of your understanding, all your faith, all of your energy into wanting to get high every damn day. You chasing this buzz. My brother brought it out with the oral fixation from the cessation. You just having to. I saw Snoop Dogg sucking on a goddamn lollipop on social media.
Right.
This murder was the case that they gave me. Snoop Dogg sucking on a lollipop, man. You can't tell me that weed don't effeminize you. Yeah. Get some. Right.
So like it. The same Snoop Dogg that paint little flowers on his fingernails.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is Google it. The same Snoop Dogg that paint flowers and stuff on his fingernails. You know what I'm saying? The gangster Snoop Dogg.
I knew you was going there.
You know what I'm saying? Like that shows you like they not gangsters, man.
Right.
They not what we call them, real niggas or real G's. You understand?
Right.
Like, all the real ones in the I.S.U.P.K, man.
Damn
You
right.
understand? We in here, man.
Surrounded by real niggas. You know what I'm saying? Give me Micah 2:10. What you got? Oh man, good night. The effects of estrogen on the male physique. What do you call them? BTs. You're gonna mess around and you know, this shout out to Officer Zion, you know. Got brothers doing the 50 a day. Just do 50 push-ups if you're a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian man. Reclaim your masculinity, man. Put down the weed. You don't understand there's direct correlation between you smoking weed and reproduction, vascular health. Not only are you destroying your heart, you're destroying your blood vessels, your veins, your capillaries by smoking weed, man. Having a sedentary lifestyle. Get down and push the ground. Do 50 push-ups every day. Reclaim your manhood, man. You don't need to have what's the picture of the tits.
Right.
Yeah. What is the scientific term for that?
The scientific term for that.
Good night. I know what they call it in the streets. I'm gonna paraphrase it. Bitch tits. Salakia.
Gynecomastia.
Who?
Gynecomastia.
Salakia. Gynecomastia.
Comastia.
Gynecomastia.
But bitch tit is a common term. It's a scientific term. Bitch tit.
Yeah.
It's not a curse. It's a foul language. It's a real thing.
It is a real thing. It is a real thing. You know.
That's the most common cause of gynecomastia among men aged 18 to 35 is smoking weed.
And turn down that goddamn music, Soul Child. Turn that off. Stop listening to that. Go ahead.
No, but you know the heavy part about that is too. You know, with smoking marijuana, you know, not only is the heathen customer guy hates it, but the simple fact that it does make you soft.
Right.
When you become induced with a bunch of estrogen and become soft, you make decisions like a woman.
Oh.
And so now women are not all women, but the majority of women are quick to anger. And they worry about the consequences later. That's why you have a lot of brothers getting shot for no reason. Yeah. And now when they're not high anymore, they're in the jail still thinking, what the hell did I do?
Right.
Because you were high and you acted as a woman because you're full of estrogen.
Full of estrogen.
And you can't forgive a brother. I can't let it go. I ain't never forgive him. He'd out forever.
Right.
You a woman. You high. You can't let it go. But you want your baby mama to let all the stuff in your phone go. But you can't let yeah, man. It's crazy, man.
Your baby mama do what?
Yeah.
Good night.
Right.
You know, a lot of us, we suffer from not having strong, positive male influences in our lives. We come from broken homes. So we come from, you know, mimicking the behaviors of our mother. You know, in her desperation, the Lord created her to be a victim of her emotions, literally. You know, her attention is to be to her husband. But when there ain't no husband in the picture, come on, man. It don't make sense. It's a broken equation. You know, the brothers was talking about that today. You know, the lack of or the void of real masculinity in the Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian household. That'll set things in order, in the proper order. So where we at?
This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, arise ye and what?
And depart.
And depart from who?
So like it's heard from America.
From who?
From America.
From America and everything that America has to offer, right? You know, what was it? Those are the new Colossus. You think about the poem that is at the base of the Statue of Liberty on Ellis Island. You know, bring me your poor, what is it?
Sick and hungry.
Yeah, your poor, huddled masses, you know. That's Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in every ghetto. But what's the bastard's name from Ukraine? Kalinsky. Yeah, he can come over here and get a damn Christmas present in excess of $2 billion, plus or minus. And you got brothers that's starving in the ghetto, on the barrio, on the reservations. Have you looked at the conditions of a reservation lately? When's the last time you saw a Native Indian? Good night, man. Read that again.
Come. Arise ye and depart.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to arise. Rise up. We ain't talking about no damn rebellion when it comes down to what we saw on January the 6th. You know, we're not talking about a coup, all right? We're talking about you putting down the pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, leaving that where it is. That's a very low thing. We're debased by these things. We're debased by celebrating our birthday. We're debased by accepting our oppressor's culture, you know, like it's the end all be it. Like there's nothing better. There's nothing better than Christmas. There's nothing better than your birthday. There's nothing better than Thanksgiving and New Year's and Valentine's Day.
Right.
There is something better, you know, and this is the reason why blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians should take heed to what the priests and prophets in the I.S.U.P.K. are laying down. We're bringing you back to your culture. We have given you your identity again.
Right.
You know, when all the other nations are confederate against thee, they seek to make the name of Yashala no more in remembrance. That's what the Bible says, right? This is a tireless fight for the priests and prophets. Right. We being worn the hell out for the sake of just wanting to exist, for the sake of us just wanting to serve the Lord.
Right.
The saints are being worn the hell out. I know you got something off the side, Don.
Come on. I was, if you don't mind, I would like to read something real quick.
Go ahead, brother. You already know.
So it says Shiva is a god who lights marijuana.
Ooh.
And so do many of his followers. It says Shiva is one chill deity. He's one of 3 major gods in the Hindu religion and has a penchant for pot. Shiva loves marijuana. So we come to share Shiva's offerings with everyone else. Let me jump down real quick. It says groups of dreadlock Hindu ascetics sit around small smoky fires puffing on clay pipes at one of Nepal's holiest Hindu temples. Hundreds of holy men and women have traveled from around Nepal and India for the festival. They spend days before the holy alternatingly praying and lounging to prepare to commune with Shiva. And they also smoke hashish. Marijuana smoke mingles with bonfires. Both are symbols of religious devotion. Shiva is believed used marijuana both to relax and focus better for meditation.
Good
so
night.
when you send up there smoking weed and all this and that, that's who you worshiping, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You worshiping a Hindu god. You know what I'm saying? And for all you Negroes who don't know that dreads, the 50 dreads that you like to wear on your head, that is a heathen custom, man.
Right.
The dirty Indians wear that, man.
That's right. No, you're absolutely right. You know, that is a custom of heathens to wear your hair in that manner. You know, to dreading up your hair and smoking weed. You know, Bob Marley did a tremendous injustice to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know, we look at Bob Marley and we get struck by colorism. We look at him, we see melanin, and we're like, oh, he one of us. And then the earth, society, they hold him in high esteem because he makes damn music. You know what I mean? And so it's like you hear No Woman No Cry and you just start in tears. Like this is everything, and it's not. You dreading up your hair is the worship, the outward worship of another god. All right. And blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we're not to worship other gods, according to what the Bible says. Exodus 20:3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me is what the Bible says. That's what the Lord said. We don't give a damn about Bob Marley. Or any other brother that's trying to influence you. Weezy, Lil Wayne, he got dreadlocks. Jay-Z has dreadlocks. And these are supposed to be our leaders. They want you to what? Emulate what they're doing. They found success. They can get a $90 million house in the Hollywood Hills. No, you're going to be destroyed, brother. You're going to be destroyed, sister, when you decide to do these things. Where we at? Micah 2:10.
Come, that's the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart.
Arise ye and depart, man. Raise up from all the customs and traditions of our oppressor. Everything that we were given since we stepped off of the slave ship. Everything that we were given on the plantation, in the slave quarters. Everything that we were given from the Christian church, from your Christian pastor. Arise ye and depart from it, man. Remove yourself from all these belief systems, all these customs, all these traditions. We got to separate ourselves from these things. And why? What's that?
It's like, sir, I was asking, like, with which is again going into the effeminism of the smoker. Shiva is a half man, half woman as well. So that's where you get a lot of that spirit of having that feminine spirit as well, sir. So like,
Yeah, it's like a hermaphrodite or a transvestite, almost like the Baphomet, right? It's a masculine figure, but it's got feminine, female parts. Go ahead.
Right, and like you just said,
Satanic is.
It is satanic, but that's the spirit. When you smoke weed, you become effeminate.
Yeah.
Although you're a man, you act like a woman.
Right.
And on too, like even with the dreads and the like most gods or the lowercase g, they have that light behind their head, illuminated like they're illuminated,
Right.
like the sun in the morning, like they worship him. And like Caesar Borgia has that same sun behind his head. Like most gods depicted have some kind of bright thing, like the sun god.
Yeah.
All this stuff is all pagan. And it's older than the brother down the street with dreads talking about something. I'm growing these because of my culture. You don't even know your culture.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
this picture is older than your mama.
Right. You see that orb behind, these so-called deities, and you don't understand that these are very old, ancient, illuminist concepts or ideals. We call them Lucifers, like Lucifer, who was the light bearer. It's literally the worship of Satan. That's what that is. There's no enlightenment in that, in practicing these things. Right. What you're going to do, though, is you're going to separate yourself from the Most High power. Mm-hmm. What you're going to do is destroy yourself and the generations that come after you. All right. You're going to be removed from the Most High power. All right. So let's go. Micah 2:10. Where we at?
For this is not your rest.
America is not our rest. America was not even founded for the sake of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. I mean, how many so-called slaves died across the Middle Passage during the transatlantic slave trade? What's the figure on that? Officers. What's the figure? 99 million, right? 99 million. What's the figure of the Native Indians that died over the course of the Indian Wars, over the course of the Trail of Tears? 77 million, man. Native Indians. How many tribes were in North America? In every county in North Carolina. I'm just giving you a little facts. You know what I'm saying? Because I love history. I love critical race theory, because critical race theory is nothing more than just history. That's all it is. Specifically American history. But out of the counties in North Carolina, there are 100 counties in North Carolina. Google it. And out of each county, they had Indian tribes in every county. So we live here in Fayetteville, so we're only familiar with what? The Lumbees. That's who we're familiar with. Right. But there were almost damn near 100 different separate Native Indian tribes in America, in North Carolina alone. And now all we see when we see a Native Indian today, they must be Lumbee. That's a who? Give me some of the names.
Cherokee.
No, of the Lumbees.
Oh, Cummings.
Cummings?
Pause.
No, that's not Oxendine.
Locklear.
Yeah, Locklear. Give me them names.
Cummings
is it really?
Yeah.
Good night.
Cummings, Locklear, Oxendine.
Yeah.
What's the other one that's real famous? Oh my God.
There's so many.
Yes, a lot, man.
It's so many.
Yeah.
We got the Emmanuel. Lowry. There you go. Yeah. We ain't talking about seasoning salt. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Officer Anthony.
So like it. I was about to say, shoot, all the so-called Native Indians that I see today got last names like Smith or Johnson,
right,
and they blood show forth through their skin.
I remember that day at camp. It was like, I guess everybody a Native Indian. I ain't seen so many Native Indians in my life. Salakia. You know, those are war stories right there. We're gonna laugh about those things and say La Yashala, you know, one day. Talking about those days at camp, man. Everybody wanted. You choosing sides now. You know, good and damn well you're a $5 Indian. You know, you don't claim that on your paperwork.
Locklear.
Let me see your ID. Your ID. Say what?
Locklear. Hunt.
Yeah.
Hunt Jacobs Locklear. Yeah. Lowry. Yeah.
Hunt Jacobs Locklear.
Yeah.
Good night. It's all right though. We got some work for the Native Indians, man. You can come in here and literally put your brick in.
And they said Brave Boy. It comes from Brave Boy. That's crazy.
Oh man, there's stories.
Yeah.
There's a lot of story. Man, there's over 300 years of the Indian wars. Them Native Indians have some real fight in them. They didn't just lay down to the European, to the early colonists. They weren't laying down to Daniel Boone and Davy Crockett and was it Bowie. They weren't laying down to them. Those are myths. Them bastards, I'm telling you right now, you know, those are absolute myths. You know, Hollywood has a way of painting a narrative that is that correlates to white supremacy. You know, you think of the outlaw Josie Wells and you're like, oh, you see him slaying them Indians left and right. That ain't the way it would have went down in real life. You know, I like the Revenant. You ever seen the Revenant?
Right.
With Leonardo DiCaprio? Boy, that was terrifying. You hear the first arrow. Next thing you know, your comrade is laying down with an arrow through his throat. Those guerrilla tactics. The Native Indian is not no slouch, brother.
So like it, they say Native Indians used to send so many arrows out, like the sky turned black.
Good night.
From arrows just raining down.
Death from above. You know, and the so-called oppressor, he wants to glory in, you know, movies like Gladiator, you know. But it's that's really heavy. And we talk about the so-called Lumbee here in North Carolina, how they stood up to the Ku Klux Klan.
Yep, they did.
You know, they stood up to the Klan. The Klan had to retreat.
They ran them off.
Ran them off. Ran them up out of Lumberton. Google it. You got a damn smartphone. Don't be so dumb. Use that smartphone that's in your pocket. Salakia. Let's finish that verse off, brother.
Come. For this is not your rest.
This is not your rest. Don't get comfortable here. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. Don't get comfortable here. America was not founded for you. You know, I know they provide all sorts of amenities. You can watch football all goddamn day on Sunday. You can sit around and, you know, smoke all the weed you want to after you get off that slavery. They ain't even drug testing brothers now. You could be a forklift operator and smoke all the goddamn Zaza runts you want to. All right? This is not your rest. Why is it not our rest?
It's like it because it is polluted.
Because it is what?
Polluted.
And I remember watching Captain Planet. You know, they had those initiatives to kind of curb, you know, pollution. And pollution was a big thing for me. I grew up in the 80s, you know. We talk about reducing your carbon footprint today in the 2000s, right? We talk about pollution. That's, I think of toxic waste. The Ninja Turtles, they came from pollution, the toxic sludge, right? That leaked into the storm drain. And now they have these super mutant teenage Ninja Turtles and stuff, you know? It's crazy. We talk about pollution. It's not a good thing. Give me the definition of pollution. Yeah, let's talk about pollution. How the hell are we polluted here in America? We get polluted with things like, you know, the things that are presented to us as very innocent. They present poison to our children in the form of Christmas, in the form of Santa Claus and reindeer and the gingerbread man and damn candy canes, and the tooth fairy, you know, and the Easter bunny. It's absolute poison and leprechauns. That's what you learn about. They changed the truth of God, man. That rainbow doesn't represent the LGBTQ community. And ain't no damn pot at the end of no damn rainbow. All right, go ahead, brother.
Common is the Merriam-Webster Dictionary of pollute.
Right.
It says to contaminate an environment.
To what?
Contaminate
And
an
we
environment.
are contaminated in this environment of America, man. You think about the ghetto, you think about the projects, you think about El Barrio or La Favelas. You think about the reservation. Those are polluted places. You're not. Those places are not designed for you to thrive, for you to really raise children and be productive. Every other corner there's a liquor store or a gun shop or a damn smoke shop or a church. They're not giving you things that are going to be beneficial to your well-being, to ensuring that your generations are secure. You know, that's not our reality. This is not our rest. So don't get comfortable. Go ahead, Officer Ayathon. You got something? Keep reading.
Con. It says because it is polluted.
It is polluted. We know what toxic waste is, right? Sewage. Think about those things. It's polluted. You wouldn't drink water if it was polluted. It wasn't potable. Keep reading.
It shall destroy you.
It shall what?
Destroy
It shall
you.
destroy you. America is destroying so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Christianity is destroying so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Islam is destroying so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Substance abuse, smoking weed, popping pills, sipping lean is destroying so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's pollution. Keep reading.
It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
Good night, man. Coronary heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, tuberculosis, emphysema. That's sore destruction. That's sore destruction if I ain't never knew what sore destruction was. Right. This is our reality. Why the hell are we leading in every statistical category when it comes down to these health disparities? Why? Keep reading.
It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction.
That's right, man. We get destroyed. We get destroyed because we are joined to these things and we have gotten too comfortable here in America. It's time for us to arise and depart. All right. Drop that. Let's go to Revelation 18:4. What else we got queued up on the videos? Who in the chat? Shout out to everybody in the chat.
You got the fentanyl awareness, and you also have the children who accidentally.
Let's go into fentanyl awareness, man, because I read an article about Gangsta Boo coming in contact with fentanyl. All right. And I got personal experiences with respect to working in long-term care about fentanyl patches, and it will sit you down if you don't have the appropriate PPE or personal protective equipment on. You handling them patches. If you a CNA or a PCA, sister girl, or a med tech, you better wear them gloves. You taking them fentanyl patches off the back of your residence. You better do it the right way, or you could be sitting down like I was sitting down, trying to cut corners. Salakia, go ahead, Officer Ayathon.
So like I had a precept to go along that Micah.
Go ahead, run that.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 23 and verse 28.
Okay.
It says, "For thus said the Most High Power, behold, I will deliver thee into the hand of them whom thou hast hated, into the hand of them from whom thou mind is alienated." Verse 29. "And they shall deal with thee hatefully, and shall take away all thy labor, and shall leave thee naked and bare, and the nakedness of thy whoredoms shall be discovered, by both thy lewdness and thy whoredoms." Verse 30. "I will do these things unto thee, because thou hast gone a whoring after the heathen, because thou hast polluted, thou art polluted with their idols." So when we join ourselves to America, just know that, you know what I'm saying, like it's the Most High that's causing this destruction, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
No, that's it. Get that brother a hand. Heavy point. It was Ezekiel what?
23, verse 28.
Let me write that down for my notes. 23. Okay, Most High in Christ. Brother bringing that heat, you know? And it's true. That's fact. You know, that's a brother that's focused on serving the Lord.
That's right.
And not holding true to the traditions of his mother or his father or his grandmother or his grandfather. That's right. Or his woman. You know, this is a brother that is focused on serving the Most High power. All right. So where we at? Revelations 18:4.
That's the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins.
Who is speaking here? We're in the book of Revelation. Who? Come on, give me the who, what, why, where.
So like I said, this
give me
John,
the facts.
So like I said, this is John the Revelator.
Let's get some context here. John is saying what?
And I heard another voice from heaven saying,
right,
come out of her, my people.
Come out of her, who?
My people.
So the Lord loves so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He ain't claiming the so-called Africans. He's not claiming the Chinese man or the Japanese man or the Korean or the Russian or any of the Europeans or the Arabs. He's not claiming none of them, but he is claiming so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He called you my people. Keep reading.
Come. That ye be not partakers of her sins.
Be not partakers of her sins. What are some of the sins of America? Changing the face of God, making Christ a dog-haired, stringy white man. They turned Christ into John Bon Jovi, man. They turned Christ into Ric Flair. It's ridiculous. They turned the Most High power into that. All the prophets, all the priests and prophets. You go into a church, look at the stained glass windows. It's not reflective of, what the Bible says. And it damn sure ain't gonna represent who you are as a black man or a Hispanic man or a Native Indian man. It's not gonna be reflective of that.
Right.
It's gonna be lily white. You taught a class on that, didn't you, Officer Quadon? Iconoclastism. Yeah, we taking notes. Yeah. Some brothers studying to show themselves approved. You know what I'm saying? Iron sharpeneth iron, Read that verse again.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
Who was the her? Who was the her? Lady Liberty represents who? America, man. Right. That's the her. All right. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, right? For amber waves of grain. This is America. Come out of her. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child. No, I ain't saying go back to Africa. I'm not saying that. But you can't remove yourself spiritually from this place. You don't have to be partakers of her sins. Because you're taught you were taught, what's the word, polytheism. You're taught paganism. Right. In their grade school. They teach you that. They teach our babies these things. They give our babies absolute poison in their school systems. Disguise the turkey. Remember that? Everybody knows that. It's a very sick and sadistic thing that they do to us. That identity theft. So-called Jewish man identifying himself as being the people of the book. Right. They know good and damn well who they are. They know who they are. You read about the impossible feats, the things that we faced. You going into African nations, you're overpowering Philistines. You show me a so-called Jewish man that could fit the phenotypical characteristics of David. Going up against the African. They cross the damn street when they see black skin. Right. Today. Right. There's no damn way that doesn't even make sense. It would have had to be a Negro from the tribe of Judah to go up against some filthy Hamite You just think about any of the stories, man. The glory that's attributed to our people. It's not them. They don't fit. They don't fit any of the curses. Right. They're that extra puzzle piece from another puzzle. They just do not fit. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, what?
Come out of her, my people.
Right.
That ye be not partakers of her sin.
Right.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
That's right, man. We partake of the sins of America. They weren't given the law, statutes, and commandments. But when you strive to be a damn pill head, you popping pills, you taking, I don't even make sense. This is something that was created in a lab or created in some, this brother didn't have a white coat that made this pill that you about to put in your damn mouth. Right. This isn't Pfizer. This isn't Glaxo Smith and Klein that's making this thing. Right. Good night, man. And what are some of her plagues? We just talked about them. We talked about some of the plagues that had befallen America. America was crippled by COVID. COVID-19, man. America was brought to its, the earth was brought to its knees by that plague. Just imagine what the Lord has in store. It's only going to get worse. You do know that, right? 2023 is going to be worse than 2022 and every year before that. And it's a righteous thing. It's supposed to be. But it don't have to be for you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. All you got to do is depart. Remove yourself. Arise ye and depart. Right. Remove your spirit from this place. Stop buying in. Stop going along to get along. Right. Stop curbing your ways to seek love, man. Stop trimming your ways. Some of that goddamn cheese and hee and han at the slave. So you can be liked. Right. You're hated. Even when you cheese and hee and haw. You're still hated. Keep reading.
Khan, verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven.
Man, I think about Cain and Abel and how Abel's blood crieth from the ground, from the earth. That's the sins of America, man. That's the sins of our oppressor. Crying. We've reached the most high power. The eyes of the Lord are everywhere. Beholding the good and the evil, man. Her sins have reached unto heaven and what?
And the Most High have remembered her iniquities.
And the Most High power, he don't forget. Right. Yahweh does not forget. You're going to be held accountable for the injustices that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have grown too acclimated to just accepting. This is our normal. It's hell. You think about any oppressor and put him in your shoes, he would hate every second of it. I don't care if you eating half the damn hog. You could be LeBron James' son. Oppressors would hate to be LeBron James' son. Right. They would absolutely hate to be that, because they know how much they despise so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. There's no way you could buy your way into this club. All right. All right. So let's drop that and let's go into 1 Peter 5:8. We got a little bit of time. What we got left on the videos, brother?
We read the fentanyl awareness.
Yeah, let's do that, because I got a video from the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency. And it's so crazy. Like until this substance abuse, until these substances started to affect our oppressor, it wasn't a big thing. You think about the effort that was put into getting brothers and sisters to stop smoking crack and heroin. You think about the drug culture and how it is promoted. Every dispensary, in America should be banned. They promote this stuff openly on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. there is no initiative to stop so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians from getting high out of their goddamn mind. It's promoted. It's encouraged. You're being continually influenced to do these things. And why is that? Why is that? When are you going to take the time out and scratch your head and be wondering why? Ponder on that. Chew on that. The whole earth is telling you to smoke weed, get high, pop these pills, sip this lean.
So, like, if I may, we talking about fentanyl, right? We
Sir.
know who the major distributors are of fentanyl. Do we all know where it's coming from? Do anybody know where it's coming from? China, man.
China. Good night.
And do you know the main ingredient that's in fentanyl?
Shoot.
If I'm not mistaken, it's opiate, right?
Right.
So you gotta remember. Then this goes back. you got, yeah, cons like that. You gotta remember, like you remember back in the day, if you go back and look at the history of America and China,
Right.
you know, the U.S. was pumping. It was a big thing to have opium. Opium tea was in China, if I may. You understand?
Right.
So I think, if I'm not mistaken, the U.S. was kind of pumping that into the Chinese people until they say, you know what, I think if you were found with fentanyl or any type of opium in China, like you were considered like I guess a dope dealer. You understand?
Right.
They would kill you more or less. The people, the government were killing you. So what you're seeing is China is somehow returning the favor back to the U.S., man.
Good night.
That's the whole thing with the Afghanistan war.
Mm-hmm.
You see the increased opium output from us being in those areas. Don't be fooled by what y'all think y'all see, what I'm trying to tell you. America has a plan to keep everybody high as a goddamn kite. Keep us looking at damn basketball and football games and looking at the arenas to keep us all in bliss and happiness and suffering at the same damn time, man. So when you bring this topic out, if our people go back and really pay attention to this class and do the history on this thing that we call drugs that we live in this country.
Right.
When did they introduce drugs? The time when they introduced drugs, when you begin to raise your level of consciousness about the suffering that you're going through.
Right.
That's when you see the flood of drugs coming into the U.S. You start talking about Black Lives Matter. Oh, we're gonna push this drug right on there. Yeah.
Right.
You start talking about the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Fight the power.
Yeah, fight the power. Here it comes. The next drug's coming down the pipeline. You understand? They keep you a drug-induced coma, if I may.
That's right.
So that's why usually when you said come out of her, I'm thinking like, yeah, when you stuck in America, you're in the coma, the coma of America. You understand?
Right.
So keep rocking, brother.
Yeah, right. No, you're right, sir. A drug-induced stupor. You know what I'm saying? Good night. All right, where we at?
You said First Peter's 2 and
5 and 8.
5 and 8. Come, this the book. This is the book of First Peter, chapter 5.
You had that video, but we you can go on Google and Google the DEA. They talk about fentanyl. They have a study that they released recently because it's affecting so-called Edomites.
They can see it up there.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it up there. So they can see it. They can read the DEA, the faces of fentanyl. A lot
Yeah.
of people who died.
It's got a lot of interesting facts and figures, but if you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, this is a very dumb way to die, you know, to a fentanyl overdose. It's a real stupid way for you to go out, all right, for you to go to the upper room, you know what I'm saying? We can't afford to be drug addicts in this place. We're in a damn war zone, all right? We're behind enemy lines, and First Peter 5 and 8 is going to tell you the mental state, the state of awareness, the heightened level of awareness that we should be embracing. All right. Go ahead, brother.
This book of First Peter, chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober.
Be what?
Be sober.
What's that word sober mean? Don't mean to be getting high off your behind, you know, just seeking comfort in these palliatives seeking comfort in, the bottom of a bottle or the bottom of a 3.5 easy wider. Be sober. What's that word sober mean? Be sober. Go ahead, brother.
To be clear-minded, think clearly.
Yeah, you can't be clear-minded if you smoking the latest Zaza exotic. When I was coming up, AZ was the thing. Every nigga had AZ. Ain't no damn way everybody's selling AZ. I remember when it hit the streets.
Right.
Oh, you see the red hairs in that? You see the red hairs in that nut? No, you don't have AZ, brother.
Right.
It's garbage. That's what you have. This is something that we're not supposed to find any enjoyment in. You telling a nigga you promoting this AZ is why our communities are in the shape that they're in. It's the reason why our families are destroyed. It's the reason why you can't keep a damn job. All right? It's because of this thing. The Bible talks about not suffering a witch to live. That's witchcraft. You pushing this poison on our people. The Bible says that we're supposed to be what?
Be sober.
You got the definition of sober?
Oh.
You said clear-minded, right?
Come on.
Yeah, clear-minded. Focused on the most high power, right? Keep reading.
Be vigilant.
What does it mean to be vigilant? You ever been to a watch night vigil? You ever been to a vigil? Everybody got candles out. Y'all are all focused on what? Somebody missing or somebody has died, right? It's a concentrated effort. Read. What is it?
Says vigilant as adjective. Says alertly, watchful, especially to avoid danger.
That's right. That's how we're supposed to be. A heightened state of awareness at all times. You can't be that way if you inebriated, you drunk off your behind, or you high. It's not being vigilant. It's not being sober. Keep reading.
Come. Because your adversary, the devil.
Ops. This is the true ops. It ain't your brother.
Right.
Your adversary. This is the person that is against you. All right. Keep reading. The adversary who?
The devil.
The who?
The devil.
Who is the devil? Because we know in this school that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right.
As a roaring lion.
There's a roaring what?
Lion.
You ever seen a lion? You been to the zoo? You was behind the enclosure. Can you imagine being in the enclosure with the lion? That's who our adversary is. And without the most high power, you have zero protection. Without being sober-minded, you have zero protection. Without being vigilant, you have zero protection. Keep reading.
Come. Walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
That's right, man. The devil is out. And he's looking to devour so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. If you knew better, you do better. We're telling you, we're beseeching with you to do better. If you black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, we have to be sober-minded. We can't be popping pills. We can't be smoking weed. We can't be sipping lean. We got to stop being whores to America. We got to stop accepting just the degradation of America. Don't be typecast as being these drug addicts, having to deal with the substance abuse. We have the most high power. We have a God that loves us. All right. You have real leaders in America that absolutely love so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And it's not in your fraternity or your sorority. It's not in the Democratic Party. All right. It's in the I.S.U.P.K. under commanding General YAHANNA. That's right. All right. And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Kudam. Ban Yahawada. Ban Yasha'Allah.
Security announcements. We're the I.S.U.P.K. operating under commanding General YAHANNA. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months.
Right.
They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3, 8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew. Ma'ashera. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. Give to Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. The upcoming holy convocation is the Feast of Purim. So it is on the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. It will be Sunday, March, and Monday. Sunday, March, and Monday 6th. Sunday the 5th, March, Monday 6th. I like it. You can find it in Esther 9:20, chapter 9:20, verse 31. And it says, reminder everyone, check out all our, social medias, Chain Breakers, Ask the Prophets, Let a Hebrew Speak,
Right.
Black Watch. Good night. I mean, it's so many, man. Continue, subscribing and liking it, these pages, so we can help, continue to help get this algorithm up, so we can push the truth, man.
Right.
It says, if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that, I imagine just the brothers. Men of Israel, we're going to render one courteous salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, my Shabbat, I imagine, Barak, Yahyamatah, Sar, turn and face the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to render one courteous salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, my Shabbat, I imagine, Barak, Yahyamatah, class dismissed.